Have you ever reached for a handful of nuts thinking they were excellent for your body, only to wonder why your energy, strength, or digestion felt odd afterward? It is a quiet inquiry, one that many of my elderly patients have asked in hushed tones during our appointments. Dr. Reed, are all nuts actually healthy for me at my age? It is an honest and unexpectedly essential question, because this is the truth. But why some nuts harm energy, digestion after 60? Before we begin, I'd like to learn something from you. Where are you watching this video and what time is it now? Please share in the comments. I read each message and it makes me feel closer to you. If you found this helpful, please subscribe and turn on the bell symbol. That way, you'll never miss another health advice designed specifically for elders. Like you, not all nuts are made equal, especially after the age of 60. Some can discreetly support your muscles, reduce inflammation, and help you maintain your mobility and independence. Others, however, may be working against you, reducing your recuperation, hurting your joints, or even exacerbating the exhaustion you're fighting so hard to overcome. So in this video, I'll walk 5 best, 5 worst nuts for muscle strength you through the 5 best, and 5 worst nuts for seniors over 60, focusing on muscular health. We'll look at which ones actually help rebuild and protect your strength, and which you should consume less of or avoid entirely. And by the end of this film, you will not only understand which nuts are the most beneficial to your health, but also how to use them intelligently and confidently. So let us sit down together, just as we would in my office, and discuss what is most important for your health. You see, not all nuts are made equal in terms of muscular health, particularly for those of us over the age of 60. I learned this lesson myself approximately 6 years ago, when my father, who was 78 at the time, began experiencing physical weakness. That horrified our entire family. Dad had always been very strong and active. He was the type of man who could split firewood at 75 and outwork men half his age in the garden. But over the span of nearly 18 months, we watched helplessly as his strength appeared to dwindle. Simple things such as getting up from his comfortable recliner became difficult. He began using both hands to lift a coffee cup. Most devastating of all, he quit working on the woodworking projects that had provided him so much delight for decades, since his hands could no longer handle the tools properly. As a doctor, I understood we were dealing with sarcopenia, a condition that affects practically everyone over the age of 60. But as a son, seeing my strong, independent father ill and frustrated was heartbreaking. We tried traditional measures, such as protein powder, resistance exercise, and even prescription drugs. While these helped, progress was frustratingly slow. Then something remarkable happened on one of our routine trips. Dad stated that he'd been snacking on mixed nuts all day since he'd read somewhere that they were healthy. When I requested him to show me the container, I was surprised by what I found. The mix was high in nuts that were counterproductive to his muscle-building aims, but low in nuts that could have helped him. That insight led me down a study rabbit hole that radically transformed my perspective on diet for muscular health and elders. What I observed was that certain nuts contain certain amino acid profiles, minerals, and bioactive chemicals that can significantly boost muscle protein synthesis in older persons. But other seemingly healthy nuts can actually interfere with these processes. When we moved Dad to the correct types of nuts in the right proportions, paired with a few other focused dietary modifications, the results were astounding. Within 2 months, he could get out of his chair without utilizing the armrests. Within 4 months, he was back to doing light woodworking. Today, at 84, Dad still maintains his own yard and even made a lovely birdhouse for my mother's garden. Now let me clarify something vital. Nuts did not cause this metamorphosis, but they did play an important part in giving his muscles with the nourishment they required to adapt to his other health changes. What I've learned from Dad's experience, as well as from dealing with hundreds of patients since then is that the appropriate nuts can be effective partners in the fight against age-related muscle loss. Let's begin with the 5 best nuts for muscle health after 60, and I'll explain why each one earned its spot on the list. Nut 1. Brazil nuts. High selenium for muscle repair. The first powerhouse nut may surprise you because it is sometimes disregarded in favor of more popular options. The Brazil nut. Brazil nuts are fantastic for muscle health thanks to their high selenium level. Just one Brazil nut has your whole daily requirement of selenium, a mineral essential for muscle function and repair. Selenium works as a potent antioxidant in muscle tissue, protecting it from oxidative damage that causes muscular loss as we age. But here's why selenium is particularly crucial for elders. As we age, our bodies become less capable of absorbing and utilizing this mineral. Many older persons are selenium deficient without even recognizing it, which can lead to muscle weakness and hastened muscle loss. The selenium in Brazil nuts is highly bioavailable, which means your body can quickly absorb and utilize it. Brazil nuts also include a fair quantity of high-quality protein, approximately 4 g per ounce, as well as magnesium and zinc, both of which are essential for muscular function. Magnesium promotes muscular contraction and relaxation, whereas zinc is required for protein synthesis and muscle repair. However, because Brazil nuts are high in selenium, you only need 1 or 2 per day. More than that can cause selenium toxicity. So use these potent little nuts in moderation. The second best nut, nut 2, peanuts. Arginine boosts blood flow for muscular health is the humble peanut, which is technically a legume rather than a tree nut. Peanuts ought to be recognized since they have one of the most beneficial amino acid profiles for muscle growth of any nut or seed. They're especially high in arginine, an amino acid that has multiple key roles in muscle health. Arginine improves blood flow to your muscles, ensuring that nutrients and oxygen reach the muscle tissue efficiently. This increased circulation is particularly significant for seniors, as age-related alterations in blood vessels can limit nutrient supply to muscles. Arginine also promotes the synthesis of nitric oxide, which relaxes and dilates blood vessels, thereby boosting circulation. Peanuts also include a significant quantity of protein, approximately 7 grams per ounce, as well as folate, niacin, and vitamin E. The folate is especially important because it helps to avoid high homocyan levels, which can interfere with muscle protein synthesis. Vitamin E serves as an antioxidant, protecting muscle cell membranes from harm. Peanuts are particularly useful for elders because they are inexpensive and widely available. While some tree nuts can be pricey, peanuts provide tremendous nutritious content for a fraction of the price. Natural peanut butter is also easier to eat for seniors who have dental concerns or struggle to chew tougher nuts. Simply choose natural types that do not contain extra sweeteners or excessive salt. The third, nut 3, walnuts. Omega-3s reduce inflammation. Muscle-building superfood is the walnut. And the science behind why walnuts are so good for muscle health is interesting. Walnuts are unique among nuts because they contain high levels of alpha-linolenic acid, an omega-3 fatty acid with potent anti-inflammatory qualities. Chronic inflammation is one of the most serious threats to seniors' muscle health. As we age, low-grade inflammation builds throughout our bodies, and this inflammation causes our muscles to break down quicker than they can regenerate. Walnuts include omega-3 fatty acids, which aid to reduce inflammation, creating a better environment for muscle maintenance and growth. Walnuts also contain ellagic acid, a chemical that has been found to aid muscle rehabilitation and may help reduce muscle damage associated with aging. Walnuts are a fantastic choice for maintaining general muscular health due to their combination of healthy fats, moderate protein content, about 4 g per ounce, and anti-inflammatory chemicals. According to recent studies, those who eat walnuts on a regular basis have superior muscle strength and physical function than those who don't. The anti-inflammatory benefits appear to be especially effective for maintaining muscular quality, rather than just muscle quantity, which is essential for functional strength and daily activities. One useful tip for introducing walnuts into your lifestyle: if they taste a little harsh, soak them in water for a few hours before eating. This removes part of the tannins that provide the bitter flavor while making them easier to digest. To add variety, cut walnuts and mix them into yogurt, cereal, or salads. The fourth best nut for muscular nut 4. Almonds. Magnesium aids muscle function health is the almond, which has established a reputation as a nutritious powerhouse for a variety of reasons. Almonds include a wonderful blend of protein, healthy fats, and essential minerals that help muscles operate. An ounce of almonds provides approximately 6 grams of protein, making them one of the highest protein nuts available. What distinguishes almonds is their high magnesium content. Magnesium is involved in more than 300 enzymatic activities in your body, many of which are essential for muscular function. It promotes muscle contraction and relaxation, boosts energy production in muscle cells, and facilitates protein synthesis. Many seniors lack magnesium, which can lead to muscle weakness, cramping, and poor recovery. Almonds also contain high levels of vitamin E, a potent antioxidant that protects muscle cell membranes from oxidative damage. This protection becomes especially crucial as we age, as older muscles are more vulnerable to free radical injury. Almonds contain vitamin E in the alpha-tocopherol form, which is the most physiologically active and good to muscular health. Furthermore, almonds contain calcium, which is not only essential for bone health, but also plays an important role in muscular contraction. Almonds' calcium and magnesium content promotes appropriate muscle function and may help reduce muscle cramps, which can be common in older persons. From a practical sense, almonds are diverse and convenient. They travel well, have a long shelf life, and may be consumed in a variety of ways. For those who prefer softer textures, almond butter delivers the same nutritional benefits, and unsweetened almond milk is an excellent way to incorporate almond nutrition into smoothies or cereal. The fifth and final nut 5. Pistachios. Leucine for protein synthesis. Greatest nut for muscular health is the pistachio, which has certain distinct benefits that make it especially useful for elderly. Pistachios have an excellent amino acid profile, as they contain all 9 essential amino acids that the body cannot create on its own. Pistachios are particularly beneficial for muscle protein synthesis due to their complete protein composition. Pistachios are particularly fascinating due to their high leucine content. Leucine is an amino acid that promotes muscle protein synthesis. As we age, our muscles become less responsive to protein-based muscle-building signals, resulting in anabolic resistance. Adequate leucine consumption can help overcome this barrier and promote muscle growth more efficiently. Pistachios also contain a lot of potassium, which is necessary for optimal muscle function and helps avoid muscle cramps. Many seniors do not consume enough potassium in their diets, which can lead to muscle weakness and weariness. Pistachios include potassium, which helps maintain adequate fluid balance in muscle cells and supports nerve activity that governs muscle contraction. Another distinguishing feature of pistachios is that nuts come in shells, which naturally regulate portion sizes and slow down eating. This can help with weight management, which is crucial for muscular health because extra weight puts additional strain on muscles and joints, making physical exercise more challenging. Pistachios include antioxidants such as lutein and zeaxanthin, which may give extra health and recovery advantages. While these chemicals are well known for their eye health benefits, they also contain anti-inflammatory qualities that can aid in muscle rehabilitation and overall well-being. Now that we've covered the 5 best nuts for muscle health, it's nuts to limit. Macadamia, cashews, pine nuts, excess Brazil nuts, pecans. Crucial to know which nuts to limit or avoid if muscle strength is your top objective. This is not to say that these nuts are intrinsically harmful. Rather, they do not provide the same muscle-building benefits and may even work against your aims in some situations. The first nut to limit is the macadamia nut. While macadamia nuts are delicious and have certain health benefits, they are not recommended for seniors' muscle health for a variety of reasons. First, they are extraordinarily high in calories and fat, yet poor in protein. An ounce of macadamia nuts has approximately 2 grams of protein, which is much less than the muscle-building nuts we covered previously. The high calorie content, about 200 calories per ounce, might lead to overconsumption without providing any muscle-building nourishment. This is not an optimal trade-off for seniors who want to maintain a healthy weight while still gaining or keeping muscular mass. The calories in macadamia nuts are mostly from saturated fats, which, although not necessarily dangerous in moderation, lack the specialized nutrients that aging muscles require. Furthermore, macadamia nuts are fairly pricey, so you're effectively paying premium pricing for nuts that don't provide premium muscle-building advantages. If you prefer macadamia nuts as a treat on occasion, that's acceptable, but they shouldn't be your primary source of muscle health support. The second nut to limit is the cashew, which poses a more difficult problem. Cashews do have certain benefits, including a decent protein level of roughly 4 grams per ounce, as well as magnesium and zinc. However, they have some properties that make them unsuitable for senior muscular health. Cashews are relatively heavy in carbohydrates compared to other nuts, and they are frequently processed with extra oils and salt. Many cashew products sold in stores are roasted in oils that can exacerbate inflammation rather than reduce it. Processing can also deplete some essential nutrients while increasing calories that are detrimental to muscular health. More troubling is that cashews are one of the most prevalent tree nuts to trigger allergic responses, and food allergies tend to worsen as we age. Even if you've never had a problem with cashews before, your immune system can change over time, and acquiring new food sensitivities is not unusual in elderly people. If you do decide to eat cashews, pick raw, unsalted kinds and keep servings low. They can be part of a balanced diet, but they should not be your first choice when aiming to maintain muscular health. The third nut to approach with caution is the pine nut. Pine nuts are frequently pricey and provide relatively little protein for their calorie level, with only approximately 4 grams of protein per ounce and nearly 200 calories. This makes them a less effective muscle-building option than the nuts we previously recommended. Pine nuts have a relatively short shelf life and can develop a bitter metallic flavor if not stored correctly or when they are past their prime. This symptom, known as pine mouth, can continue for days or even weeks and interfere with appetite and enjoyment of eating, which can be especially difficult for seniors who are already experiencing appetite changes. Pine nuts are commonly used in modest amounts as a garnish or flavor enhancer rather than as a significant snack. While they can add taste and nutrition to dishes like salads or pasta, they are not a practical way to receive enough levels of muscle-building nutrients. The fourth nut to limit is the Brazil nut, when ingested in significant quantities. Now, this may seem counterintuitive given that I previously lauded Brazil nuts as beneficial for muscle health, but it demonstrates a key nutritional fact: more is not always better. While 1 or 2 Brazil nuts per day might give helpful selenium for muscular health, eating too many can cause selenium poisoning, which can affect your muscles and overall health. Symptoms of selenium poisoning include muscle weakness, weariness, and even hair loss. Brazil nuts contain such high levels of selenium that just a few nuts can exceed the necessary daily intake. This is an excellent example of why understanding adequate serving sizes is critical, especially for seniors who may be taking numerous supplements or eating fortified meals, which can lead to nutrient overload. Brazil nuts are useful in small doses, but potentially hazardous in bigger amounts. The fifth and final nut to limit may surprise you because it is commonly regarded highly healthy: the pecan. Pecans have some nutritional benefits, but they are not ideal for muscular function in seniors for a variety of reasons. Pecans are quite heavy in calories, with approximately 200 calories per ounce, while only supplying about 3 grams of protein. This makes them among the least protein-dense nuts available. This is not an efficient use of calories for seniors who want to maintain or gain muscle while also maintaining their weight. Pecans are also highly heavy in fat, with approximately 20 grams per ounce. While some of this fat is healthy, consuming large amounts of pecans or eating them alongside protein-rich foods can interfere with protein absorption. This is especially problematic for seniors who already have lower protein use efficiency. Additionally, pecans are frequently consumed in sweetened forms such as pies, pralines, or candied preparation. These preparations include considerable amounts of sugar and calories, and they may cause blood sugar spikes that interfere with muscle protein synthesis. Now that we've talked about which nuts to eat and which to avoid, let me provide some practical tips for incorporating the healthiest nuts into your daily routine for optimum muscle health benefits. Practical tips: portion sizes, soaking, combining with protein. The time, quantity, and preparation of nuts can have a considerable impact on their muscle-building benefits. First, let's discuss about the ideal serving sizes. For the majority of the healthy nuts we discussed, 1 ounce per day is an appropriate serving size. That's around 24 almonds, 14 walnut halves, or 49 pistachios. Because of their high selenium level, Brazil nuts should only be consumed once or twice per day. Timing can also influence how successfully your body absorbs the nutrients from nuts. Eating nuts as part of a meal or snack with other protein sources can aid in muscle protein synthesis. For example, combining a handful of almonds with Greek yogurt delivers a complete amino acid profile that is very beneficial for muscle growth. Many of my patients find it beneficial to plan their daily nut servings ahead of time. At the start of each week, measure out single serving portions into small containers or bags. This avoids overeating while providing constant nourishment throughout the week. Soaking nuts overnight can help with digestibility and nutrient absorption. This is especially useful for walnuts and almonds, which contain chemicals that can inhibit vitamin absorption. Soaking helps to neutralize these chemicals, making the nuts simpler to chew and digest. Nut butters can provide nutritional benefits. To seniors who find it difficult to chew nuts owing to dental difficulties, choose natural versions that do not have extra sweeteners or additional salt. Nuts can also be ground into a powder and used to smoothies, yogurt, or cereal. Let me tell you a story about one of my patients, Eleanor, who exemplifies how the appropriate attitude to nuts may make a significant difference in muscle health. Eleanor, 73, originally came to visit me because she was concerned about her deteriorating strength and energy levels. She'd been a devoted gardener her entire life, but the physical labor required to maintain her gardens was becoming increasingly difficult. Eleanor was already attempting to eat healthily, munching on mixed nuts since she had heard they were beneficial for her. However, when we studied her diet, I discovered that she ate mostly cashews and nuts because she favored their softer flavors. While these weren't toxic, they didn't provide the nutrition her muscles required the most. We progressively introduced Eleanor to the muscle-building nuts that we discussed today. She began with a few almonds and walnuts mixed into her morning porridge, eventually increasing to a full dose of almonds or walnuts as an afternoon snack. She also started eating one Brazil nut for breakfast and a tiny piece of pistachios with her evening meal. The results were gradual at first, but Elena noted considerable improvements after about 3 months. Her energy levels climbed. She felt stronger in her everyday tasks, and most importantly, she was able to resume the more rigorous garden labor she enjoyed. She also established a fresh vegetable garden that spring, which she hadn't been capable of doing in years. Eleanor's accomplishment exemplifies an essential principle. Small, consistent nutritional modifications can have a significant impact on muscle health over time. You do not need to make significant changes overnight. Simply selecting the proper nuts and eating them on a regular basis can be an effective way to maintain and improve muscular health. Aside from selecting the correct nuts, there are a few more nutritional methods that might boost the muscle-building advantages of your nut intake. Combining nuts with other high-quality protein sources throughout the day ensures you get enough total protein while also providing a range of amino acids that promote muscular health. Staying hydrated is essential for muscle function and can help your body better absorb the nutrients included in nuts. Many seniors fail to drink enough water, which can decrease muscular performance and recuperation. Aim for adequate fluid consumption throughout the day, and keep in mind that the fiber in nuts requires proper hydration for good digestive health. Vitamin D levels are also important for muscle health and can influence how well your body absorbs nutrients from nuts. Many elderly are vitamin D deficient, which can lead to muscular weakness and inefficient protein consumption. Consider getting your vitamin D levels evaluated and considering supplementing with your doctor if necessary. Regular physical activity, even if it is light, such as walking or gentle resistance workouts, can dramatically boost the muscle-building effects of appropriate nutrition. When you combine the correct nuts with the right physical exercise, the results may be amazing for maintaining and developing muscle strength. It's also crucial to examine any drugs you're taking that may interact with nuts or influence your nutritional requirements. Some drugs can interfere with nutritional absorption or increase your need for specific nutrients. If you take various drugs, talk to your doctor about your dietary plans to avoid any interactions. As we conclude our discussion on nuts and muscular health, I'd want to underline that nutrition is only one piece of the jigsaw for keeping strength and independence as we age. However, it is a portion that is fully under your control and has the potential to significantly improve how you feel and function. The nuts you consume may appear to be a minor decision, but over months and years, these decisions can have a significant impact on your muscle health, strength, and quality of life. By picking almonds, walnuts, pistachios, Brazil nuts, and peanuts over less nutritious options, you're supplying your muscles with the nutrition they require to remain strong and effective. Remember, consistency is more important than perfection. You don't have to consume nuts every day, and you don't have to avoid less advantageous nuts altogether if you love them on occasion. The idea is to make muscle-building nuts a regular part of your diet while treating the others as treats on occasion. Begin with tiny improvements and progress gradually. If you don't already eat nuts on a regular basis, start with a small handful of almonds or walnuts a few times per week. As this becomes a habit, you can increase your consumption to daily levels and experiment with other varieties. Pay attention to how you feel while making these changes. Many of my patients report increased energy, faster recovery from physical activity, and better overall well-being when they optimize their nut diet for muscle health. These changes are typically visible within a few weeks to a few months. Most essential, remember that maintaining muscular strength is an investment in your long-term independence and quality of life. Every handful of the appropriate nuts is a step toward remaining healthy, energetic, and capable of doing the activities you enjoy for many years to come. Your muscles have served you dutifully for decades, and they deserve the best nutrition you can offer. Making informed decisions about something as easy as which nuts to eat is a significant step toward preserving your strength, independence, and vitality for years to come. Thank you for spending time with me today. Remember that making tiny changes regularly over time can result in significant benefits in how you feel and what you can accomplish. Here's wishing you continued strength and health. If this video impacted your heart in any way, please let me know by liking it, sharing it with someone you care about, or leaving a comment. And if you want to continue walking this path with me, studying health, healing, and deeper living in your elderly years, be sure to subscribe and touch the bell button. Every week, I'll be right here with you, telling everyone that we're still alive.